advise you, we do have time for one last question, and you will be allotted the full 90 seconds to respond. Ms. Dixon, starting off with you, what ways can Baltimore's government be more efficient and effective in providing services to residents, and how would you use tools like CityStat and audits?
Well, I use CityStat, and the first thing that I would go back and do, because city government for the last 5 years has not been functioning in serving the citizens of Baltimore. So in every agency would have to do performance audits. And in those performance audits, we will look at and we will show each city employee that they work for the taxpayers and that we have to be responsible and responsive, but not just picking up the phone, but also by making sure that our actions as well are implemented in the communities. And so performance audits are needed. People have to understand that. That's number one. Secondly, yes, we have to do audits, and now by law, audits have to be done yearly. We need to work with the Comptroller's office and give her the tools to help in those audits so that we don't pay a lot of consultants millions of dollars to do audits on top of assessing the audits that the Comptroller currently does for the city of Baltimore. And then third, and not least, is that really we have to really assess and have our agencies stop working in silos, but work collectively. You know, one of the things when we talk about connecting the dots under my administration is that all of my agencies were working for the same goal and objective, and not transportation over here and DPW over there. It was cleaner, greener, healthier, safer. We were all on the same page, working together, so we weren't duplicating responsibilities. And we've got to get back to the system where people, our city employees, are serving the citizens of Baltimore and working with training them where there's capacity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Embry.
Thank you. So as I spoke about before, I want to create a new era of accountability in city government. And that means a culture of customer service that starts from the top, that starts from the mayor and goes down to the officer on the street, the person who's picking up trash, so that everyone is infused with the knowledge that they serve the public. That is both noble, but it is also their mission and their duty. And it's also, as I talked about, not just audits, but publishing the results of the audits and publishing what my administration is doing about the results of the audits. It's about having CityStat operating not just at the levels that it needs to operate, but expanding it so that authorities, the housing authority, for instance, has not been subject to CityStat, which I think is a core part of the problem in the scandals that have come to light recently in the Baltimore Sun. It's subjecting agencies like the housing authority to CityStat, involving the school system in CityStat, and bringing that model of metrics and accountability to all of our city agencies. And finally, it's about having a government that recognizes that it needs to be responsive and involve the best uses of technology and model and take advantage of what's been done in other cities to involve citizens in reporting problems and to involve everyone at every level of process, from the person, like I said, picking up the trash to the person in charge of the agency, in analyzing and help refine processes so we are always maximizing our efficiency in city government. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mosman.
The city of Baltimore, we have a very hard time of finishing jobs on time and at cost. We hardly ever do it. If you go sit at a Board of Estimates meeting for decades, you'll see vendors come in and you'll see cost variances of 20 and 30 and 40%. Because we have this lowest bid wins every time. So the lowest bid comes in, they extend the project, and then the citizens of Baltimore are held to foot the bill while removing resources from other city services and enhancements throughout the city. As the next mayor of Baltimore, I will establish a centralized project management office with certified project management professionals to ensure we're doing things like schedule performance indexes as well as cost performance indexes, so we will finish our jobs on time and at cost. The person that's doing the speed humps outside shouldn't be the same person that's managing a $200 million bridge. That's unacceptable. We will digitize BOE so we can understand and go back and search what these vendors have done in the past and hold them accountable. We will drive a CityStat 2.0 where we enhance the services of utilizing predictive analytics and managing data in a way that we haven't done so in the city. We will also open up Baltimore in a more transparent way through Open Baltimore, one of the most amazing data portals throughout this United States, but will allow our citizens to participate in the process. And then lastly, with audits, we will drive financial and performance audits to our large city agencies so we can understand and know where our deficiencies are. This is about creating a new Baltimore. This is about creating a better Baltimore. Let's stop talking about the old, let's stop talking about plans, and let's build for the future.
Thank you very much. Ms. Pugh.
At the state level, what we have in terms of auditing is we have a committee that's made up of not just legislators, but it is also open to the public. where the audits are presented and they are responded by in terms of the agency that's being audited. We are already under mandate in this city to do audits, and I know that we are in the process of doing them. But we also want transparency and accountability. So those audits should be put online, as well as allowing community members to come in and hear the audits and so forth. But I also want to look at how do we make our agencies more effective. The comptroller does deserve the tools that are necessary in order to perform those audits, and we've not done that heretofore. But we do have to remember that we have a AA bond rating in this city. So we've done some things right, and I know that we can do them even better. So I will look at all of the processes that have already taken place. I look at best practices around the nation. For example, when Bloomberg became mayor, he asked business people to come in, scrub his city budget, and they found some things that they could do better. When Rahm Emanuel became mayor of Chicago, he asked business people to come in and help him take a real close look at the budget, and he saved the city $50 million in his first year. I will be a mayor of best practices. I will use the best tools to measure success and progress and even our failures as we move our city forward and not backwards.
Mr. Stokes.
Thanks, Vic. Vic, the city is now doing audits. It's not someone has to come in and start doing audits. Because of my bill, because of my legislation, the city has started to do budgets, and we are doing it now, and there is a process. As chair of the Taxation, Finance, Economic Development Committee, every 30 days, I bring finance into city council for the public to see via live TV what's going on with those audits. We are doing audits. The problem is and continues to be there is no sense of urgency in this city about what to do next, what to do when we get those audits. Look, I'm sorry, 344 murders, top 5 homicides for the last decade and a half. No urgency for a driving plan to save lives in this city. 90% of our kids can't read at great proficiency, can't do math at great proficiency. No driving urge to fix this in our city. I had to do my bill twice in the city council because it was turned down by the majority of the city council members. They said, no, let's not do audits. And I had to fight with Jack Young as my partner to make sure that we did do a bill. This city lacks urgency. We're here talking about long-term goals and long-term plans. I don't have a 5-year plan. I have a next day plan. I have a next day plan where I bring the best and brightest people who are smarter than I am, different training, different background, different education, and we make this city work tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Mr. Warnock.
Thank you, Vic. You know, I am your best choice if you want to turn this city around. I'm the only candidate on this stage that's actually been on an audit committee. City stats, absolutely, absolutely. We need to have real city stat statistics, quality of life statistics that come out, financial statistics that come out. I'd bring Chad Kinney back from Cincinnati. He was doing a great job before we ran him out of Baltimore. We need to have city stat that's published. But this election is also about respect. It's about respect for the citizens of Baltimore. When that Department of Transportation so-called audit came out that used the word guesstimates all over the place, I know that's not a GAAP accounting term. And when the Department of Transportation audit came out and said that 1 out of 7 bridges was structurally unsound in Baltimore City, they couldn't even tell you what was the 1 and what was the 6. I get scared every time I drive across a bridge. And again, I'll go back to our public pension plans. We're running a $75 million deficit in this city, a projected $744 million deficit over the next 6 years. Our public pension plans are on the verge of insolvency, every one but the one for elected officials. Let's write the greatest turnaround story in America together. Let's bring jobs and opportunity and transparency to the city that we love. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and that concludes this portion of our debate here this evening. I'd like to say thank you to all the candidates for being here and sticking to your times and answering so thoroughly all of the questions. Special thank you to the University of Baltimore, the Baltimore Sun, the League of Women Voters, and of course our entire staff at WJZ-TV as sponsors for this event. My colleagues this evening, Dr. Cotton and of course Andrew Green. I want to remind everyone to please remember to go to the polls. They open on April the 26th. Thanks again so much for joining us, and good night.